Hi, everyone. Good afternoon, good evening, good morning, depending on your time zone. My name is Ohemu Godwin Pius, and I'm very, very happy to have you on the show today. For those of you who are just joining, this is my YouTube channel where I get to share my research journey, my journey about the event that I've attended, and journey about my PhD program that I recently started at Texas Tech University. And for this period, I decided to do a series on PhD students that I have been fortunate to attend their PhD defense. And I listened to them and I got captivated by the way they were able to articulate their point, how they presented the outcome of their research to the members of the audience, how questions were served, and how they were able to handle all of those questions. So today, I will be introducing someone to us. He's the second person that I'm having on this series, and she's going to bless us from a wealth of knowledge, wealth of experience. And I really want you to please engage, use the comment box to ask any question that you really want to ask. Let's get talking, let's get learning, and let's connect together. It is something that I love doing, and I'm very happy that when we reached out to her, she generously accepted that she was going to be on the show with us and she was going to share her experiences with us from how she came into the profession and why she decided to do a PhD and all of that. So, ladies and gentlemen, it is an honor for me to introduce to us my guest for today, my second guest on the PhD series. Her name is Dr. Luciana. Dr. Luciana is a PhD graduate of Texas Tech University. Particularly, she focused on One Health Sciences. I'm just going to allow her to introduce herself to you and we'll get talking. So, Dr. Luciana, first of all, thank you so very much for accepting to be on the show with us. And can you just tell us who you are and tell my audience, let them get to know you and get to, understand the gravity of the person that is on the show with us today.
Hello, everybody. First of all, thank you, Godwin, for calling me and reaching out to me and explaining what will be the main audience and what will be the main purposes of this interview. I'm pretty excited to share my experience with you guys. First of all, I hold a DVM from Brazil. After that, I did a master in microbiology. And then I decided to joined Texas Tech University to do a PhD in One Health. I think as all international students, it's a little bit challenging to move from your country to a new country, even though whenever, isn't it?
Yeah, it is, yeah.
It's pretty much challenging because I was a little bit older and then I was kind of confused. Should I go? Should I stay here? Should I try something different? But it was always my dream to pursue another career and just enhance my knowledge as well. And then I thought if we do not risk, we won't get as far as we want. So that's what I did. So I started my PhD in One Health at Texas Tech University, the School of Veterinary Medicine, as our friend and guest and host here, Godwin, just started. And I was super happy because I still wasn't sure if One Health, oh, I'm so sorry. I was still not sure if One Health would be the best option and the best field to start with. But due to the scenario, the global scenario that we have, it's very common to see the merge between animal health, human health, and environmental health. So after finalizing my PhD, I'm 100% sure that that was the best pathway for me.
Awesome. Fantastic. Thank you so very much. Ladies and gentlemen, if you are just joining us, we have with us today in the studio, Dr. Luciana. Dr. Luciana actually is from Brazil, and she did her PhD in One Health Sciences at Texas Tech University. So, Dr. Luciana, first question for you, very simple. And we just want to know, why did you decide to do a PhD? Of all of the various areas of career trajectory or various areas that you could have ventured into, why did you decide to do a PhD? That's,
Okay.
we'll be very happy to know the why behind your decision.
Yes. So as I mentioned, I am a DVM, right? I'm a veterinarian.
Mhm.
In the beginning, after I graduated, I started working as a clinician veterinarian. But since the beginning, I always liked to work in the laboratory, and I always liked to learn a little bit more about research.
Mm.
So I wasn't 100% fulfilled working as a clinician, even though it's also a very pretty um, career. And then I thought, why not expanding a little bit my knowledge and something that I could apply better in the future in my career goals.
Mm.
So I did my master in microbiology and immunology. And then I really wanted to embrace a bigger challenge. And when I had the opportunity to go to USA and start literally from scratch, right? As I mentioned, we international students, we have extra challenges than other students. And
Yeah.
then I decided that if I try something harder, I would even increase and improve myself as a human being.
Mm.
So that's what I wanted. I was working here as a veterinarian, but I still thought that was something lacking in my career. So that's why I wanted a bigger challenge. And I know it's very well perceived that people that have a PhD, they have usually a good position in their career after
Mm.
pursuing the PhD. So I
Mhm.
thought, why not? I know for some people can be a little bit tricky to imagine your goal as a midterm goal, like 4 to 5 years. But
Mhm.
I had a good experience. Of course, there's like up and downs during that pathway. It's not always rainbows and butterflies, but I
Mhm.
think, especially for me, it was a very good and personal improvement and challenge as well. So yes, that's why I did it.
Nice. Nice. I love that. I love that. I love that. You had a definite purpose for which you wanted to do a PhD. And from what you said, it was, you really wanted to improve yourself in your area of interest. And before you venture into doing a PhD, you were already working as a vet. You had your DVM and you had your master's degree program as well. And then uh, there was a statement you made earlier. You said, if we do not risk, if we do not risk, we won't get as far as we want in life. Like if we don't risk stuff, we won't get as far as we want. I don't know. Please, can you shed more light on that? Because I love issues that borders around risk. What did you sacrifice? What risks did you take? And at the long run, now that you are done with your PhD, looking back, can you say categorically that the risk you took was actually worth it?
Yes, okay, I got it. Actually, it was a very good question.
Yeah.
And I believe all the human beings are kind of scared of getting out of the comfort zone, right? Some people
Mm.
are more prone to adventures, some people are more resilient to this. I was always very, very close to my family, and I'm always family oriented. But also, I wasn't feeling that I was progressing in my career. So I thought I need to try something different, but something that is still it's in my interest area. So as I mentioned, I always, since the first year of veterinarian, the graduation, the DVM, I have worked in laboratories, different laboratories. So that was something that I always felt comfortable doing, and I always could see an improvement because whatever you apply in the field, someone already study on that and worked on that. So there is,
Yeah.
it's like a chain that one completes the other, right?
Mhm, mhm,
And I always like everything that is clinically applicable in the field. I
mm,
understand. I think it's very important, the basic studies, but I
mhm.
really like everything that is clinically applicable.
Yeah.
So my biggest challenge was, first of all, stay away from my family, which was something very big for me and very deep.
Okay.
I'm the little one from the family, so I'm always like surrounded by everybody. But
Mm-hmm.
also I thought, why not? You know, if everything goes wrong, what can we do? At least we tried.
Yeah.
That was pretty much my motto.
Mm.
So I will be honest, very honest with you guys. The first year was the most challenging for me because I was adapting not just the environment, but the culture and starting from scratch from finding friends and starting a new career and living the USA style life. Even though Brazil, it's kind of similar with some things, it's not 100% the same, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So I really had to open my heart for this experience as well. So what I think it was the most challenging for me was the first year that I really
Mm.
had to embrace. In the beginning, I honestly speaking, the first month I was just crying, saying, "What did I do?" You know. But whenever you stop and say, "Hey, calm down. That was your decision. Nothing comes fast. Everything needs to be like put some effort on that.
Mm-hmm.
But at the end, what is your main goal?"
Yeah.
I think no, no, I think I'm sure that I achieved my goals. And on top of
Awesome.
that, like
Yeah.
I came here with the purposes of just really studying, making the
Yeah.
best I could, and get a good career.
Mm-hmm.
And for the top cherry for me, I met my
Yeah.
husband, and now I'm gonna have a baby, and I'm
Yeah.
super, super fulfilled. And I'm sure that God plays a really special role in our lives.
Mm.
And that was meant to be for me. You know what I mean?
Wonderful.
Yeah.
I love that. I love that. Thank you. Thank you very much. Indeed, it is always good for us to take some risk in life. You know, if you don't risk it, you will never go as far as you really want to go, just as you said. And more often than not, a lot of persons they are very comfortable in their comfort zone. If you really want to achieve breakthrough in life, move out of your comfort zone, try something new, try something challenging, try something different. And at the long run, as long as you have a clear focus in life, you will look back and you'll be very happy that actually you did this. Thank you very much, Luciana, for that.
But
You said the first year was, the most challenging year for you. I am just new in the program, and lots of other persons, my audience, a lot of persons are actually aspiring to do a PhD either in the US or outside of the US or in any country of the world. How challenging was the first year for you, and what tips and strategies, tips and tricks did you, leverage on to help you overcome and to help you emerge victorious at the end of your program?
yes, no, for sure, this is very important. And first of all, what was the most challenging for me is that I have been to USA before coming to Texas Tech University, but
Mm-hmm.
I have visited the United States, just big cities, and like I'm from a big city. I'm from the capital of Brazil. So
Wow.
I thought that everywhere in USA would be the same. So that's the first mistake that you make. Like, hey,
Yeah.
first of all, you're applying for a university. Most
Mm.
likely you won't have the same facilities and the same opportunities that you have in a big town because those
Mhm.
huge universities, the good ones, are usually not in the capital or in a
Mhm.
huge city because also it's very, very expensive to be there.
Mhm.
So I think I was kind of naive to embrace everything and not really go a little bit deeper and further in the research about the city that I would live in. Not
Mhm.
that that would be something that I would deny just because it wasn't a big city, but
Mhm.
then the expectations would be different. And I think that's very important for you, for everybody, right? If you're challenging yourself to move to another place, first of all, know the culture. Second of all, know where are you going to,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
it's very nice and important to start having like a small networking or some connection even before you go.
Yeah.
So there is a lot of I would tell some examples, for example. So there's a
Yeah.
lot of communities in Facebook from your
Mm-hmm.
universities or even from your country that people live in the surrounding areas that can give you some tips or anything.
Yeah.
So that's my major advice for everybody that is moving. Doesn't matter if
Mm-hmm.
it's for your country or a different country, whatever. Try to do these
Due diligence.
yeah, your due diligence. Perfect.
Yeah.
Yeah, perfectly.
Yeah.
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 And even though I had, for example, I had my family that my brother was living in Ohio. And as I
Mm-hmm.
mentioned, I just knew big cities. I didn't do properly my due diligence. When I arrived there, I was like, huh? So that's my major advice for everybody. And
Mm-hmm.
again, I see as a different option right now that was very good actually for me because when you have a smaller town, at least I had this, people are usually friendlier in a smaller town. They can help you more. So I
Yeah.
never felt that I was alone. And
Mm-hmm.
very easily I start making friends and start finding connections and communities. And I
Mm-hmm.
think if I have done this a little bit before going, the time that I adjusted will be even
A lot
like
shorter.
shorter, you know?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
that's, yeah, that's what I would say.
Nice.
Um, and
Nice. Nice.
also put yourself there. You know, there's a lot of people because sometimes people say, ah, I won't go to this event. I don't know anybody. It's going to be weird. I don't want to try to talk to people. You should. You already decided that in your life. You already decided
Yeah.
that you're going to be out of your comfort zone. So go deep. Go talk to people that you've never seen in your life before. Try to find connections. Try to find friendships.
Mm.
Because I'll be very honest with you guys. What really kept me there in a good position were my friends most of the times because it's always challenging and it's challenging for everybody. It's not just
Mm.
you or whatever. It's just because I don't know, I'm older or whatever. You know what I mean? So I definitely would say embrace and talk to people, go to any event. And the Graduate Students Association, for example, this is a very, very helpful tool that people should really, really use.
Mm. Thank you. I'm so sorry. I'm just trying to note down the point that you have raised. They are quite numerous, and I agree. I share the same sentiment with you, Luciana, because when I came in here, or before we came over here, we decided to just let's do a quick study about the environment that we're actually going to. Where is Texas Tech University situated? Where is Amarillo? What is the weather condition like? What is
Mhm.
the food, the culture of the people? And all of that. And then we saw a post, online that said that the weather condition in Amarillo could actually change so sudden without your knowing. And when we got here, we met a colleague who told us that Amarillo is
Windows.
one of the windiest cities, in Texas. It was kind of a shock to us that over here 8 p.m. is still as bright as noonday. And I was like, what kind of environment is this? So if you do your research, if you do your digging, your due diligence before you come over, it's going to help you a whole lot to be aware of what lies ahead of you and how you can actually weather the storm and how you can actually overcome, the situation. And then, as you said, make friends. Maybe you belong to a Facebook group or a WhatsApp group. Try to ask questions. I know very well that we got a lot of help, lots of assistance during the visa application process, during the kind of document to send, how to search for accommodation. We got those
Mhm.
advice from the Nigerian community group on WhatsApp, and they were very, very happy, to help. So don't just move all alone with with your visa or with your offer letters. You need information. You need information, and these are,
Yeah.
the key point that Luciana has shared with us today. Now, Luciana, the next question that I have for you is this. There are several statements that have been made out there by people, and one of those statements is that a PhD student does not have a life. A PhD student doesn't have the life. Their life is all about lab work, research. They are always writing manuscripts. They are reading and all of that. How was it for you in your own time? Did you have a life? Did you Were you able to explore? Are you able to, to dream big and to hang out and to do something that was beyond just the core requirement of your PhD program? Or is your life actually in full agreement with the saying that PhD students do not have a life?
No, I disagree with that. And I think, again, not every time you're going to have a free weekend to enjoy or enjoy
Yeah.
a holiday or plan some trips with your friends.
Mhm.
But you need to do this whenever you have a chance because there's a lot of people that do not take care of their mental health.
Mm.
And I know a lot of people that really had to go into deeper medication because they are on top of stress. They are very, very depressed. And I think what really all the students, not just students, but everybody that works, we have a very full schedule. There are really some days that you're going to work 12 hours. Yes. But you need to take care of yourself, which means you need to eat well, you need to sleep as much as you can when you can, and mental health. And this is part of your life. So you won't just burst yourself, be crazy, and lose those precious years because it's your life as well. So you need to try to make this trip, right? This pathway as
Yeah.
much pleasurable as you can.
Mm.
So I would say the first year sometimes you can enjoy more, the last years are a little bit harder, but you always have time to take care of yourself. And mental health, again, it's a huge issue in our society. So sometimes people want to show that they are there working, 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 but they are not really taking care of what it really matters. How are
Mm.
you feeling with that? So
Mhm.
not because you spend 12, 13, 14 hours a day working means that you're the best there.
Mm.
You need to understand that there are some people that works 8 hours and they're much more productive because they took care of themselves and then
Yeah.
came back another day and work a little bit more, a little bit more, a little bit more. What you need to
Mm.
keep in mind is that you need to have small goals and you need to keep those goals because this is
Mm.
also very encouraging. There are some times that you're gonna like, oh my God, I have a presentation to make in a week. So you know that that week you're gonna work as much as you can. But after the presentation, you're gonna go out with your friends. You're gonna
Yeah.
enjoy yourself. You're gonna go out for fishing. I don't know. It doesn't matter. But you're
Mm.
gonna treat yourself as well.
Mm.
So I did have good times and I found a boyfriend, which turns out to be my husband right now. So yes, we can
Mhm.
definitely go to the movies. We can do small trips. Most of the times you have to work hard, but as much as you should, as long as you really take care of yourself.
Mhm.
Because at the end, I don't know, I think it's just worth it if you're doing with your heart, not just
Yeah.
because you want a diploma. You want to
Mm.
embrace the whole thing and you want to really understand what it means to you.
Mm.
And at least for me, I have my limits and I know my limits. So you need to
Yeah.
also respect your limits,
Mhm.
but never be lazy, but respect your limits. So that's what I would say.
You got it. Never be lazy, but respect your limits. Know your
Yes.
limits, respect your limits, do what works for you, and enjoy the journey, enjoy the moment. It's not about happiness. It's not about the pursuit of happiness or the pursuit of degree or certification, but it is more about happiness in the pursuit. Are you happy with the entire journey? Do you make the journey a memorable one for you from start to finish? And I think I got
Yeah.
that. That was very, very great. But Luciana, do you have just one tip that you will share with someone new, in PhD or about to go into PhD or MSc or any career pursuit? How did you create the work-life balance? How did you create the work-life balance such that, your life was not, deprived of all that it needed, and your PhD pursuit was not actually deprived of the attention, of the hard work, of the commitment that is required? How did you create that balance such that you had a life as a PhD student, and you also pursued your PhD with all of the energy and determination that it required?
Yeah. Um, so actually we do have cycles. There are some cycles that it doesn't matter that everybody is going out, everybody have their holidays, everybody enjoying. Sometimes you cannot. And you cannot suffer because this is happening there, because it's momentaneous. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So what I would say for me, what was always my goal is I'm gonna work hard because I wanna be free from my heavy duties by the end of the year, once I could come here and see my family. So
Mm,
every time that I was like thinking everything is going wrong, I don't know if I'm gonna make it, that was my motto. Like, hey, you need to do it good right now because you have a goal to, during like after Christmas or anything like that, to spend some time with your family. But of
mm,
course, not all the years I could do that.
yeah.
So you need again to try to plan yourself, and at least this is how I did. I don't know if it works for everybody,
Mhm,
but talk also to your mentor. They need to know what is going on with you. You
mm,
need to open yourself as well, because I think it's very, the ones that really care, they're gonna listen to you because they were PhD students as well. So
yeah.
you need to tell them whatever you're struggling with and whatever your expectations are. Because
Mm,
sometimes you have one expectations that are not going to be met in the like near future, but then they're
mhm,
going to tell you, okay, I understand this is important for you, so instead of you traveling, I don't know, in December, I need you to work in December, maybe, but maybe in February you can go out for a while. So adjusting also this
mm,
communication is essential, and especially
mhm,
with your mentor, because at
yeah,
the end they're the one that are going to decide your schedule over there. So
yeah,
there are some
yeah.
things that you are planning to do,
Mhm,
but because of the research you cannot do it. But as long as you talk to them in advance, you're going to
mhm,
make it work, they're going to make it work. So it's a team. You need to understand that your advisor and you should work as a team. So that's
I
pretty
think
much what I would say.
Yeah, that is a very serious point, a very important point you just made there, Dr. Luciana. Your advisor, you and your advisor, you need to understand that the both of you, you are not against your advisor is not against you. Your success is your advisor's success, and your advisor's success is your own success. And the earlier you realize that the both of you are working, as a team, you guys are working together, the better it is, because you can't run ahead of your advisor, and you need to carry your advisor along. I feel this is something that most PhD students do not understand. They feel, I am a PhD student, I'm the one doing the PhD, my advisor is just to supervise what I'm doing and to oversee what I'm doing. They want to do stuff on their own without the foreknowledge or the consciousness of their advisor. And then all of a sudden they begin to have issues with the advisor, they are not carrying the advisor along, or the advisor is not even aware that they are collaborating on your research with someone else in another lab and all of that. So I don't
Mm.
know what's your advice. How do you think situations like this can be managed? Because we don't want to fall into that pit hole whereby you are having you are now at loggerhead with your primary or your principal advisor, or probably someone who has been so instrumental in your presence in this PhD that you are doing. How do you make sure that there is no problem from start to finish? And how do you enlighten the eyes of our understanding so that we don't make mistakes, that can actually affect us negatively?
Yeah. I had more than one advisor, right? So I would definitely say that each professor is different. You need to
Mm,
understand what their work style.
mhm,
Also, you need to understand what are their limits and how you should approach each one of them.
mm,
So this is for me like crucial.
mhm,
Um, Ideally, you should know someone before that was working with your advisor so you can get those like insights right before you arrive. But if you didn't, it's okay. You're gonna learn.
mhm,
So I think what it's really, really important is to show them, first of all, that you are an independent person. You're there to seek improvement, critical thinking, but also you need to have maturity to get a feedback. So nobody
mhm,
likes to be criticized, but this is one of the ways that you're going to improve yourself. So
mhm,
be very careful whenever someone is giving you a mentoring, giving you a criticism, because the idea for them, because they chose that in the life, they want to mentor you. So the
mhm,
idea is that they will correct something on you in order to improve you. So there's a nice book that is called Thank You for Your Feedback. So that's pretty much the idea. You need to just not take things personally and really understand what they want to tell you. Um, and also try as much as you can to be proactive, because
mhm,
as a PhD, nobody's willing or waiting for you to hold they're going to hold your hand and show you step by step for every single thing. Some advisors
mhm,
really want to be like shoulder by shoulder and really show you every single thing that you should do, but most of them, first of all, they want proactivity and
mhm,
critical thinking. If you have
mhm,
trouble, if something's going wrong, how would you correct that? So this is what I really understood and learned from both of my mentors. And
mhm,
also communication.
mhm,
Don't try to do everything by yourself as well, because at the end of the day, like you mentioned, we are working together. We are a team. So I cannot take all the decisions alone. They need to be aware. And again, whenever you're talking to them, reporting, going to lab meetings, which is essential, then you can share your ideas, and then you both or you and your team are going to decide which better way to go. So yes, communication for sure, and show that you're interested, I would
mhm.
say. But um, I don't know. I don't have like a specific tip
I
like to
think, I
address.
think, I think, yeah, I think those points are actually very, very valid. Number one, be proactive, critical thinking, and effective communication.
Yeah.
These 3 points you raised are very, very important. And as you rightly said, you are doing a PhD, that is more like a terminal degree, like the highest of all forms of degree, so to say. And you are not enrolled in a PhD program in order for you to be spoon-fed. Nobody is going to spoon-feed you. You have to be
Yeah.
proactive. You have to be able to innovate in your own way. You need to be able to bring ideas to the fore for your supervisor or for your advisor to consider and to guide you and advise you on how best to implement and to make it come to reality. But if you just sit there and you're waiting, my advisor has not come to check on me, my advisor did not give me any manuscript to work on or anything, you have to put yourself out there. You have to be proactive and then think critically. And in all of your doing, communicate, communicate, communicate. Carry your advisor along and make sure that there is a clear-cut communication between you and your advisor. This will actually help you, to achieve success in your pursuit. Dr. Luciana, a very key question I
Definitely.
would like to ask you before I take the last two questions is financial management as a grad student. How did you manage your finance? For some persons, they are self-funding themselves for their PhD, and some they are on scholarship and they get stipend. How did you manage your finance? Because while you are in your own country and probably you are fortunate to get maybe a scholarship opportunity and you are told, okay, you'll be paid this stipend per month, you feel on top of the world. I'm going to, receive this money every month. I'll be able to do this in my family. I'll be able to do that in your family, only for you to get into the program and you discover that the stipend that you are receiving is not even enough for your rent and upkeep. How did you manage your finance effectively such that you were not you didn't run into any kind of trouble?
Yeah. I mean, this is a very hard topic, especially for us, like you mentioned. I know people have different challenges. I
Absolutely.
was there by myself. I didn't have um I didn't have to take care, for example, of my husband or my daughter or my son, my family. I didn't
Mhm.
have to provide to anybody else
For the
because I know this is
okay.
even harder. So I really
Yeah,
appreciate you guys that come with the family. It is a big challenge and it's beautiful because the whole family is embracing the challenge, right?
absolutely.
So the
Yeah.
first thing that we think is like the currency here, it's like 5 to 1, for example. So whenever you see the
Mhm.
numbers in dollars, you convert and say, I'm going to be good. But take in consideration, you're
Yeah.
going to spend also in dollars. So it's not that you're going to get that money and you're going to be rich, quite the contrary. So what I did,
Yeah.
I always had a roommate. So my priorities were because the due diligence, right? So we didn't have the option of
Mhm.
transportation. Okay. So I had to choose between either living far and spending less, but then the transportation would be more expensive because I couldn't afford a car in the beginning, or I would live
Mhm.
closer with certain
Mhm.
comfort, but also give me the option that I'm gonna walk to the university. It's gonna be a walk distance
Mhm.
university for me.
Mhm.
So that's what
Mhm.
I did. So a lot of students, whenever they are in the main campus, they usually have the university housing, which is also very
Yeah.
expensive, but then they have all the transportation from the university, which is very, very easy for them. That's not our reality in
Yeah.
Amarillo. So most of the students,
Mhm.
they have to have a car right away, especially, unfortunately, the ones that have kids,
Mhm.
the ones that have a husband
Mhm.
and their significant other and wives, because
Yeah.
not everything little thing that you need is going to be a walking distance. So
Absolutely.
if you can, of course, try to plan yourself 1 year in advance, try to save a little bit of money just for providing this comfort of having a car. And again, we're
Mhm.
students, our cars are going to be very old. They're going to be, not the top one. They just need to be something important. They need to drive us to one place to the other
Yeah.
and not give us any
They need to
trouble.
move from point A to point B. Yeah,
Definitely,
yeah,
you know what I
yeah.
mean? So I know I had a couple
Nice.
of friends that they didn't have money and they were living together and they decided to buy a car shared. You can do this as well. So it's all
Mm,
about
yeah.
planning what you want to do. So in my case, as I said, I was a walking distance most of the times, even though my roommate, she was working with me as well in different laboratories, we
Mm-hmm.
barely had the same schedule. So sometimes we should go together,
Mm,
sometimes not. Another thing is
okay.
important. Whenever you have friends, if you're working there, your friend has a car, ask for a ride. Don't be shy because the person
Yeah.
that was there for a longer time, they knew that. They know how it works, so they're going to be helpful. So I think it's important as well to have your community in order to say, hey, the weather is horrible. Can you let me know whenever you're leaving to see if I can go with you? So I think
Yeah.
it's very, very important.
Very important.
So
Very,
that's what I always try to do. I would say I would have saved much more money if I would stayed all those years without traveling internationally to see my family. But this
okay.
was my top priority. So that's why I couldn't
Yeah.
afford a car right away.
Yeah.
So again, it's
Yeah.
all about your decisions. Why do you
Mm-hmm.
want to give up and what do you want to pursue? So,
Mm-hmm.
and
Awesome. Oh,
to be honest, I
yeah.
think I would hate to have lived alone. I am someone that needs to talk. I need I need to have someone to share my feelings, you know what I mean? So
Yeah.
embrace this option as well. Like, hey, not necessarily gonna spend the 4 years with the same person. You can change
Mm-hmm.
roommates every 6 months if you want, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
but I think it's very comforting. And I was very, very lucky as well because I always had good people around me. So
Mm,
I always even had people proposing like, hey, if this person is gonna leave, do you want to live with me? So this is
yeah.
nice because you have your interactions over there. So that
Nice.
I would
Nice.
say you need to choose, pick and choose. Either you're gonna live far,
Mm-hmm.
cheaper, but then you need
Yeah.
to understand that probably you need to afford any transportation or look it up or
Mm-hmm.
share with someone, share rights, or you're gonna
Yeah.
live closer, but then you're gonna have more independence of walking.
Hmm.
And that was my option.
Nice. Nice. Then what about groceries? Food and all of that. Where did you go buy stuff? Did you go to, a place where it is very expensive? Were there clues as per where to get it at affordable rate and all of that?
Yeah, so groceries, I'm gonna say, I know we don't want to trend like any trades, whatever,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
always bought from Walmart because Walmart, it's very affordable.
Mm-hmm.
And in the beginning, I know that the university provides, it's like a membership. Every university has a different, like you have a membership from Walmart,
Mm-hmm.
and then you can, as I didn't have a car,
Mm-hmm.
I would buy all the heavy things, and through the membership, they would deliver to my house.
Your house. Yeah.
But again, friends, right? Communication. So every time that my friends in the area would go to do groceries and they have a car, I would ask, hey, if you're doing groceries during the weekend, do you would you let me know? Can I go with you? Not
Mm-hmm.
every time you want to go because you don't have to buy a lot. Another thing that
Yeah.
you need to realize is that
Yeah.
whenever you live in a big family, you buy a bunch of groceries, right? But whenever you are basically alone, you need to understand that, hey, this is going to spoil, this is going to go bad, this is
Mm-hmm.
going to mold. So you will learn how to really manage your groceries. It's,
Yeah.
and what it's cheaper and I think healthier, at least for me, is to
Yeah.
cook. So try to prep meal
Yeah.
because there's more vitamins. You're gonna do something that it's even tastier, or
Mm-hmm.
it tastes more similar to what you're used to. But
Mm-hmm.
once in a while, you can go out with, to a restaurant, go out with your friends, and this kind of things. But in order even to decrease the costs living, cook
Mm-hmm.
and prepare your meals.
Awesome.
That's yeah.
Nice, nice. Thank you, Dr. Luciana. You said don't be shy to ask for help. This is very, very helpful. This is a very nice advice. It is $1 billion worth of advice that Dr. Luciana has shared with you today, with us today. Don't be shy to ask for help as a grad student. Upon your arrival, or even before you arrive, ask for help. There are people who have been in the system before you, who are already in the system. They have things and they know places that you may not be aware of. Don't be shy to ask for help. Ask them and they will point you in the right direction. Particularly, you might want to ask the GSA, Graduate Student Association. They have materials. Probably you are just arriving and your apartment does not have beds and all of that. You could ask for help, and who knows, they might have a mattress to give to you for you to use up until you have the resources to buy your own. The cross of the matter is that don't be shy to ask for help. Ask for help and you will get the help that you need. Dr. Luciana, I really want to
Right.
thank you so much for your time and for being so honest and cheerful, sharing your experiences. But before I let you go, there is just one question that I really want to ask you. And I really, really want you to be more honest answering this question than you've been, answering the other ones. And that question is, if there is anything that you feel was very, very contributive or that was very, very supportive and instrumental in the success of your PhD program at Texas Tech University, what is that one thing? And what advice do you have for the for someone out there who is about venturing into PhD or who is already in the PhD program? That one thing that helped you that you feel everybody should be aware of and that they should leverage on. What is it?
Okay, so for me, personal experience, always, always, whenever you have option and chances, present your work, either in conferences, in small talks, in lectures, as a guest, 3 minutes thesis, small things, or even bigger. Present your work because this is going to give you, first of all, confidence about what you're doing. Second of all, vision. People are going to look at you and know who you are eventually because they're going to keep looking, and they're like, oh, actually, I know this lady or this guy. Maybe they don't know your name, but they're going to keep seeing you. And this is going to help you improving your skills, your talking skills. So that was definitely one of the best advice that I got from my advisor, the main advisor. She, in every moment, she was always pushing us to go and present. So that is my main tip or main advice for everybody. Different fields, doesn't matter. You need to really go and practice. So that's what I would say.
Always, 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 and always present your work. Throw
Always.
yourself at opportunities that warrant you to share the outcome of your research, maybe at symposium, at conferences, at seminars, 3 minutes poster presentation. Throw yourself at those opportunities because from doing from doing such, you gather experience, you learn, you develop self-confidence, and when the time comes for you to stand before any audience to present yourself or to sell the most expensive commodity on earth, which is your very self, you'll be able to do it and do it excellently well. Dr. Luciana, that
Exactly.
was thank you so very much for your time. Thank you
Of
for your
course.
presence and thank you for doing this with me today. I have learned a whole lot. I've taken note. You can see I have taken note. I've penned down a whole lot from you. And as grad student who is just new in the system, I will also apply these lessons to my own self and see how I can, throw myself at opportunities that warrant me to present. Always putting myself out there in front of people, is vision. The more they keep seeing you, the
It's
more,
vision.
the more they can easily remember you and be able
Yeah,
to connect you, with opportunity.
definitely.
Ladies and gentlemen, if you are just joining us, you've missed a whole lot. Honestly, it's been amazing speaking with Dr. Luciana today. She has been stellar, like sharing her experiences with us, telling us her stories, why she decided to do a PhD, and we have gradually come to the end of the event. Before I let you go, three key takeaway for me from our conversation is be proactive as a PhD student. Critical thinking is key, is non-negotiable. And number three, effective communication. Communicate, communicate, communicate. Carry your supervisors along and make sure that there is no gap in between. It's been wonderful.
Definitely. See, Godwin, you're more than ready.
Thank you, Luciana. That's wonderful. I
Thank
don't know if you have
you.
any closing thought, any closing statement from you for anyone watching, anything, any advice you'd like to give before we draw the curtain.
Yeah, I just one thing that I think it's important to share. Um, Everybody has different realities. Everybody
Absolutely.
has different backgrounds.
Mhm.
Very important mental health as well. Do not keep comparing yourself every little time in small situations. This is gonna just put you down. So try to understand your strengths and improve them as much as you can, and your weaknesses. So, and that's very important. I work with different people, and I could see the best thing that they could provide to me, but I would never look at them as like, oh, I'm not as this person, so I'm worse. So you
Mm,
shouldn't ever do this yourself.
mm,
So that's pretty much what I would say. Like
mm.
embrace your own reality. Uh,
Yeah.
be happy that you're trying something for yourself,
Mhm.
and have this purpose on your mind that it's going to be hard for everybody, but at the end, you're the one that should really cheer your achievements.
Mm.
That's pretty much okay.
Be your own cheerleader. Be your own
Be your own,
cheerleader.
yeah.
Yeah. Be
That
real.
definitely.
Be real, be original. Don't compare yourself with anybody. You are unique in your own way, in your own sense, and what will be. Just do your best. Do your best, as Luciana said, sacrifice, take risk, and you sure will have lasting memories. You look back and you'll be happy that you did this for yourself, with yourself, and by yourself. So, ladies and
Yeah.
gentlemen, it's been
Thank you,
it's
Godwin.
it's been wonderful. Thank you, Luciana. I really,
Thank
I really enjoyed it, and I'm confident that people who are going to listen to this recording, my audience, they will also learn from this. And perhaps if anybody, if you're just watching, if you have a question for Luciana, please drop it in the comment box. I'll do it to pass the question across to her. And once you provide her responses, we'll share it with you as well. Until I come your way again, I am Ohemu Godwin Pius, and this is my YouTube channel where I share my research experiences, my research journey, and I'm happy to receive acceptance from wonderful individuals like Dr. Luciana, who generously accepted to be my guest on the show, and she has been wonderful. Thank you so very much,
It's
Luciana.
my pleasure. Anytime, anything that you need, Godwin,
Thank you.
you can reach
Thank
out to me, okay? Thank
you.
you.
Thank you so very much. All right, ladies and gentlemen, do have a wonderful day, and bye for now.